It's not easy by any means, especially when you're in this state of pain and wanting to just give up and curl up into a ball, but find it somewhere, listen to some music, anything, find the ability to just stand up. Even if you have to bring a friend or a family member to help advocate for you, it's worth it because someone out there will listen.
Endometriosis isn't just a bad period. It's a whole body disease that impacts at least 1 in 10 females at birth. And yet, most go years, sometimes over a decade, without a diagnosis. It's misunderstood, it's under-researched, and it's often dismissed as, just a reproductive issue. This podcast is a space for the real talk. The stuff we whisper about and cry about and scream about, and the small wins that we celebrate along the way. We are here to connect, to get honest, and to share what we're learning as we navigate life with endo together.
You said that it's heartbreaking to hear like you don't have endometriosis. And that was like something that like I plan on talking about in my video that I plan on doing a year later, is getting a diagnosis and coming to terms with that. Because after fighting for so long, after being gaslit for so long, you come out of surgery and you have that initial, you have endometriosis for real. It's diagnosed and you're so relieved and you feel almost excited and happy and glad that like, holy mother of God, I'm not crazy.
Yes.
You feel so validated and all of these amazing things when you hear you have endometriosis. It's like, yes, oh my God, I knew it finally. But then for me, months went by, recovery went by, and it was like one day it just like smacked me in the face that I was like, I have endometriosis. You almost lose that high of being like, I'm not crazy. I feel so validated that all of a sudden it's like, I have a crippling illness that has no cure, that will never go away, that has the potential to come back. And there's not a lot of research on it. And it's like, all of a sudden the gravity hits.
Yeah.
And that's something, as someone in this whole year of post-op, is like about halfway through, the high left and the gravity hit. And I was like, how do you come to terms with that? Now that we're past our gaslit phase, past getting our diagnosis, we're out of that fight or flight mode. We've been surviving for so long that when we're finally have that moment of peace, have that moment of rest, that it's like, how do you move on from that? How do you accept that? And I personally struggled with that. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm coming to terms with the idea that, because now it's, what did I do to deserve this? Why am I the 1 in 10? And I got so angry for so long. Why am I the 1 in 10? Why aren't I the 9 in 10? Like, why me? What did I do? And I was so mad once this gravity hit. And I was so angry that, why me? What did I do? Why am I broken? Why am I sick? Why do I have this? And I ended up seeing a counselor, and it actually helped. And I think that it's not talked about enough, the mental weight of endometriosis, because we talk about the pain and we talk about recovery, but we don't talk about how much it wears on us mentally, and how much, once we're out of that survival mode, to stop and be like, this is my life now.
Yeah.
And seeing a counselor very much helped. And personally, I felt so isolated because people don't get it. Family doesn't, I mean, unless you have endometriosis, people don't get it. Because some friends and family said to me, well, like, it's not cancer, it's not going to kill you. And I'm like, no, but I can still be upset about this. I'm allowed to be upset. No, it's not cancer, and no, it's not going to kill me. But I now have a disease for the rest of my life. Like, I'm sorry, but would you say that to someone with diabetes? Like, yeah, but it's not going to kill you. No, but it's still
comparison.
Sucks.
Yes.
It sucks. And it's something that in the whole recovery process that we all go through, whether we're aware of it or not, that we're all going through this sense of this is my life now. And I just wanted to bring it to light that people aren't alone in this. And even though like I saw a counselor who had no idea what endometriosis even was, I had to explain it to them.
Oh, wow.
They still were able to help with the acceptance of, yes, you have this disease now, but it's not all you are. And that was so big to me because I was so hung up on this. Why am I the 1 in 10? Why am I broken? Why do I have this? Why is this me? And they were like, it's not you. You're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a paramedic, you're a firefighter, you're a dancer, you're a fitness person, and you have endometriosis. You're all of these things. You are not endometriosis. And that just clicked in my brain that that's not all we are. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in it because it does consume our lives. It consumes a giant part of our lives, especially people who are trying to have children. It can affect a massive part of their lives. People who are in relationships, it can consume your relationship. And it's so difficult to step away and see that this isn't my whole life.
Right.
And that's something that I'm still going on with and still trying to learn and trying to find meaning in this. And that's why I'm where I am today, because I look at this as an opportunity to maybe I was given endometriosis to be able to help others, to have the ability to stand up and talk about it and share my story and help at least one person. Because I am the type of person that like everything happens for a reason. And this can't just be my name got pulled out of a hat in the universe and was like, she's going to be the 1 in 10. That's her. We already picked the 9. She's going to be the 1. It has to be more than that. And so someone who might be going through it, all I can say is you're not alone. And it's so difficult to grasp and to move on, but to remember that endometriosis isn't all we are. It's just this part of us that is awful and painstaking and just real shitty in all honesty, but it's not all we are.
Yeah. That's a really strong message.
Because it's something that we talk so often about, our symptom and our pain and our recovery and our surgeons. And I just found, because I even was trying to go through Facebook pages to be like, am I the only one who's like, what has happened to me? And
No,
it's
it's a
very
real,
isolating because it's not talked about. And I'm a
yes.
very big person on mental health matters. It's like endometriosis. You can't see it, but it's there. And we're
Yeah.
all going through it. It's just a matter of saying, I'm having a hard time with this. And I mean, I still am, but I'm definitely on the up of this new journey, if you will.
Yeah. I feel like we kind of like, I personally had to kind of like take my life apart like Legos and figure out like, okay, can this still fit? Where does this
Mm-hmm.
go now? Because like work is different. I personally could not continue. I was teaching and I didn't feel like I would want to send my kid to someone who was not as capable as I was at the time. And I was like, that's just, I can't be responsible for 30 kids. I can't. So I had to switch jobs. I had to switch my entire diet. I felt like really all my clothing, so many things have changed for me. It's just, I am a different person now. And sometimes I don't even know, was I'm like gaslighting myself or was it actually better all these years? Like, how did I manage to do that every day? I don't even know. Because like now that I get to this balance that I'm like, okay, so here's like where I'm doing okay. And I know that like there's going to be anomalies, but like I kind of like have things under control. But it does take the time and it does take like just the personal acceptance that things are shifting. And by the way, just like secret to people, we all, girl, you're gonna get like hit 33 and Facebook and Instagram are gonna start targeting you to reels of like other people who do not have chronic illnesses and their bodies start to fall apart. Because just this is what happens to us with age and our current, how we live. So it's kind of like we all go through this. I just feel like with a chronic illness, we go through this a lot faster and a lot earlier. And it's really hard when we're comparing ourselves to like all of our friends and like the people just used to go out to the bar and like have 20 drinks, and now I can't even have one because alcohol. So it's just a lot of adjustment.
It is.
So
It's very much a moment of you have to accept it. Accept that life is different. You are different. It is a part of you because for so long I wanted to just dismiss it and be like, no, it's not a part of me. It is a part of me and it affects who I am today and how I go about things. I also had to very drastically change my diet, change how I work out, change how I do things at work. The guys that I work with are so very supportive and so amazing. And yeah, some days when I have my period, I might have to sit in the recliner with my heating pad, and that's just that. And they have to accept it, and they do accept it. Or they'll help me out a
that's
little bit more
awesome.
on the fire ground. Let me carry that because I know that today you're having a painful day. And yeah, we have to just, the big thing is acceptance. And that looks different for everybody, whether it's just coming to terms, changing who you are, changing your lifestyle, changing things, but accepting this new part of you like you would anything else. Accepting that you might be a mother, accepting that you're a girlfriend, accepting that you have a new job, everything in life, we have to accept all these changes. And this one's just so,
Yes.
it's so much.
It's affecting every aspect of life,
Mm-hmm.
every single aspect. And I think also that's why like it's not officially talked about because we just talk about the little different aspects. So like, what do you do for a living? Or what do you do for this? What do you do for this? Because it's just like I don't think any of us can address all of it at once. It's just
No.
a lot, a lot.
One thing that I did want to talk about, because I feel like it doesn't get hit on enough, is in this recovery, pelvic floor therapy. That's a big one. And my surgeon recommended it to me. And at first I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound like something I want to do.
I
It's
feel
very
ya.
intimidating because it can be very intimate and it's weird and it's awkward. And I was very much was like, I don't think I want to do that. And I dismissed it. I was like, And then during recovery, I was dealing with a lot of urinary urgency. And I was like, I have a UTI. And I took one to the doctor and like, you don't have a UTI. And I'm like, well, what is this? And so I actually videoed my doctor and he was like, I think you're having pelvic floor spasms because a lot of the endometriosis was in my pelvic floor and it caused a lot of weakness when it got removed. And I was like, oh, he was like, I really recommend pelvic floor therapy. And I was like, I'm really not cool with that. But he ended up giving me a muscle relaxer for the spasms and it helped. And I was like, well, shit. That and when I started working out again, it's an embarrassing story, but it's not an embarrassing story. I went back to the gym and I was cleared to like go back to doing my ab workouts and doing everything that I normally would do. And I was on my period. I remember I was doing sit-ups and I was like, wow, my period's really heavy today. And I went to the bathroom and I actually peed myself. And I was like, oh my God. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Post-op with all those muscles like this,
Oh,
you can't tell the difference.
all messed up, all messed up. And I was like, oh, this was just a weird fluke. It was because I was using my ab muscles. And then I went to a Zumba class or some class and I was doing like a lot of jumping movements. And I was like, I'm going to pee my pants. And I was like, I have to go to pelvic floor therapy. I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And I'm so glad I did. And it wasn't as awkward as I thought it was going to be. It was very easy, honestly. It's more awkward to go to the OBGYN than it is to go to pelvic floor therapy. And when I went, it was an initial evaluation. We sat, we talked about what I was comfortable with, what I was kind of hesitant about. And then they do an evaluation where you just lay on the table, waist down is off with a blanket, towel draped over you, none of this paper sheet baloney. And she just inserted one, maybe two fingers to just do an exam of the pelvic wall. And I ended up having tightness and weakness. And it turns out that a lot of people with endometriosis have tightness in their pelvic floor because of how much pain we're in. were constantly contracting, constantly contracting.
Exactly.
But I also had weakness as well from all the lesions and stuff being removed. So we worked on both. And it was just a matter of doing like a lot of almost exercises and breathing techniques. And majority of our sessions would be, the beginning would be like breathing techniques, ab workouts, whatnot. And then she would also do, because of my tension, she would do a pelvic floor release where same thing, waist down was off with a towel, and she would just insert one finger and just do a release. As awkward as it might feel, I'm so glad I did it because I had no idea how much that tension was affecting me.
Oh my
Uh,
God, yes.
she would do the tension release, and I would feel like a little bit of cramping. And then all of a sudden it was like
Like a
just like a burst of just like, and I'm
yes.
like, what? And now, even at home, I'm done with my pelvic floor therapy. I have a pelvic floor wand that basically mimics that for the tension release. And when I feel like if I have a really bad period, or if I just feel like my tension has just come back, I just do the release at home, and it's amazing. It helps with my ovulation pain, actually. And it also helps with bowel movements as well,
Yeah.
because I definitely have constipation issues and just bowel issues alone, but not having that tension has helped so much. And I've heard it talked about here and there in the groups on Facebook. And I know, I mean, myself included, I was so very much like, no, I don't want to do that. That doesn't feel like something I want to do, because I didn't really know what it was. But
Yeah.
now, having been through it, having done it, and seeing the difference, I recommend it so much. Now I can do my sit ups and I can jump and do all my things without peeing my pants, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
Which is a win. But that's definitely something that I like to try and talk about, is what it is and how it can really actually help. And it's not as awkward or as intimidating as we think it might be. The OBGYN is definitely a lot more all up in there and awkward
Oh
versus
yeah.
the very much like a, and they're there to help you as well, feel very comfortable, and they don't want you to feel awkward. And my physical therapist or PT therapist did a very good job of making me feel like this isn't weird. This is just an average day. Because for her, this is an average day at the office. We're the ones who are making it this big, enormous. Oh my God. Like, no, to
Yeah.
her. And I try to remind myself, like what I tell patients, like if I go to someone who's like fallen in the shower and they're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, I'm not going to remember you in 5 minutes. Like, don't be embarrassed. Like, you were just part of my day. Like, I'm not gonna remember you next week. I know you're so embarrassed right now, but I trust me, I'm gonna go back to the station and eat my pizza and probably forget about you. In all honesty. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it does make me feel better.
Like, all right, like she's gonna just carry on about her day and have her lunch like
Yeah.
normal. I'm the one who's like, oh my God, this is awful. This is so embarrassing. Oh my God. Like, no,
Yeah.
just a
I,
normal
I
person.
had a I had a pretty similar experience where I was like horrified of the idea, and it just sounded like, how is that even going to help? Like, because the pain, sometimes for me, it was so severe. I lost my insurance after my surgery, very soon after, so I could not get pelvic floor therapy like after. Usually they recommend to start like 5, 6 weeks
Yeah.
once you're fully healed. People do not start before. I've seen people like
Mhm.
trying stuff off the internet after surgery. A, do not try stuff off the internet. It's usually doing the opposite. It's like it's all of those like postpartum stuff for like making you strong. It's gonna do the opposite. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
no,
lot worse. We
yeah,
don't
no,
want that. We want relaxation. We want stretching.
very much so.
And don't do anything before 6 weeks post-op. Like really
Mm-mm.
don't. But I could not do anything for like a year plus until I finally had insurance. And by that time, the pain was so bad. I really thought I'm gonna need another surgery because I thought it's all adhesions. I felt it like this, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, it's all adhesions inside. I can't move it. And my doctor was like, I hear you, but how about we try pelvic floor therapy first, just to see maybe some of it, just like to give you relief faster.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy we did because literally 100% of my severe pain that would wake me up at night was pelvic floor. It was all handled in office with just a few 7.5 months in office. but
But still, not
it was
surgery, not
not
being opened up.
surgical. I have full control over this. So if ever anything like this, it would not get to this bad again because
Mhm.
I had to learn how to walk and how to sit and how to stand and whatever. And we all need to learn this because for years we compensate for the pain for like by standing like this and moving like this
Mhm.
and sitting like this in a way that it doesn't hurt. And then that messed up my entire posture and everything. And it looked like for me, that's how I stand. What do you mean that you don't, I'm not 2 years old. I know how to stand.
Yep.
And I had to learn all this again, but I also have this amazing, powerful control that I can help myself
Mhm.
because, like you said, she was so knowledgeable. It was never awkward because it was all about, let me show you how this muscle works. So, like, you see it, and then she's pressing, and it's like, do you feel it up here? Like, yeah, how does that work? It's so crazy. Like, I can feel it up my stomach. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really big. So, for me, it was really more of like fascinating learning experience. And the fact that their goal is to always make you feel better by the end of the session, never to hurt you, never to make it worse, never to like just push one more. It's
Mhm.
never ever this thing. Just after the first time I went to the right person, and you do need to go to someone who has experience with endometriosis.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's it. I'm in. I'm coming here every week.
Mhm.
Whenever you can see me, I'll be here.
Yep.
It was so helpful. Every time I left, it was just I have a few hours or a
Mhm.
day of such relief. It was just amazing.
It is. It's absolutely incredible. And like I had the same experience of just knowledge wise. I had no idea that our whole pelvic floor is like the whole thing. I had no idea. And when they have like the diagram and they show you like this is this muscle and this is this muscle, and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. It's like pelvic floor is more than just Kegels. It's more than just sit-ups. Like it's more than just all of these things. It's breath work and it's relaxing, especially for those of us with endometriosis. It's relaxing those muscles because those muscles are so tense, like clenching our fist constantly. And to be able to just release
Yes.
it's an incredible feeling. It helps with pain immensely. And majority of my back pain, she had said to me too, because there would be positions that I could be in that it would help my back pain when I had it. And she was like, it's because you were relaxing those pelvic floor muscles. So even
Hmm.
now, like I do a lot of just yoga, stretches, breath work to just help the overall back, my hips, everything to just stay cohesive at all times. But pelvic
Yeah.
floor therapy, it's intimidating and it can be awkward to think about, but so worth it. And even now, like I
Yeah.
said, I have my wand at home that I might use once a month if I'm like, if I start with like the urgency again, I'm like, I'm probably spasming, and boom, done, cured, gone,
Yeah.
good for another 100 miles. But it's
Yeah.
not surgery. It's not going to doctor's appointments. It's not going on antibiotics for UTIs to just, oh, well, maybe. No, like
Yeah.
to be able to have the control. And that's a big thing for us too, because we don't have control a lot. We've been years of being gaslit and not having the control. To have it in the palm of our hand is like, it
Yeah.
feels good to have control over our pain.
Yeah. I feel in general, this whole thing is about control a lot. 'Cause the part that feels so life consuming is because it could go from 0 to 100. And we've all been there. It's like all of a sudden, oh, that's it. End of the day. Having, and I don't say that pelvic floor breathing could help with like taking a 10 pain to a 0. That's not going to happen. But you can take it from 10 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
from 10 to 7. So for me, even that little control is really, really amazing. And it does take work, by the way. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
for me, it took a lot of time. And also like the first round I started with a therapist who wasn't very good with endometriosis. And it took me more time to kind of like trust again and know that even if like I leave the office and I feel okay, and then I'm gonna try some exercises and stretches at home, it's still gonna be okay because she is doing it better. And I wasn't scared to like do it on my own. But it does take time.
It's
That
so hard with endometriosis sometimes that you're in so much pain that it's like anything, you're afraid to do anything to make it worse.
yes.
Even if it could make you better, even if someone's like, this will 100% make you better, it's still like, nope. Because we have that fear of like, I don't trust it.
Yeah.
I'm so
And
much
if it's
pain
gonna
right
get
now.
worse,
I
no one's
don't
gonna
want
help me.
more. Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. CBD drops and
Mm.
oils that I've heard good stuff about. I personally haven't really tried something that I found really good, but I only tried like once or twice, and it maybe was just not that great product. But I heard people say it's really helpful also for like before pelvic floor therapy or just generally like before you work out. So yeah, that's also something to try. Wow, this has been an amazing journey. Thank you for taking us on it. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Like I said, I could talk about this forever. Unfortunately, endometriosis has so many topics and so many things that we could just go on about for literally ever.
Love to have you back.
Having me, I am so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to share my journey. Like I've said, even if it just helps one person, that's my goal. That'll make this kind of worth it, if you will. Having this disease, being able to just have the opportunity to talk about it and have the opportunity to help someone, even if it's just one person. So thank you.
And thank you for standing up to your doctor. That alone already helped a lot of patients, I'm sure. You're awesome.
It's not easy by any means, especially when you're in this state of pain and wanting to just give up and curl up into a ball, but find it somewhere, listen to some music, anything, find the ability to just stand up, even if you have to bring a friend or a family member to help advocate for you. It's worth it because someone out there will listen.
Thank you so much, Sarah. This has been so enlightening. Thank you for taking us through your journey and for all the amazing tips and enlightening ideas.
Thank you for having me.
A shadow that won't let go. It grips my body and steals my glow. Silence screams behind a smile. Walking this road feels like a trial. The world can't see the war inside. The scars I carry, the tears I've cried. Doctors shrug, they turn away, leaving me to fight another day. Hear us now, we won't stay quiet. Through the storm, we'll rise to fight it. Our bodies ache, our voices roar. We're stronger than we were before. Each day's a battle, a brand new fight. Chasing answers in the darkest night. The weight of doubt, it cuts so deep, but I hold on, I will not weep. We are not fragile, we are not small. We stand together, we stand tall. Listen to the stories we need to share. A little kindness could repair. Hear us now, we won't stay quiet. Through the storm, we'll rise to fight it. Our bodies ache, our voices roar. We're stronger than we were before. Hear us now, we won't stay quiet. Through the storm, we'll rise to fight it. Our bodies ache, our voices roar. We're stronger than we were before. Each day's a battle, a brand new fight. Chasing answers in the darkest night. The weight of doubt, it cuts so deep, but I hold on, I will not weep. Hear us now, we won't stay quiet. Through the storm, we'll rise to fight it. Our bodies ache, our voices roar. We're stronger than we were before. Pain is a shadow that won't let go. It grips my body and steals my glow. Silence screams behind a smile. Walking this road feels like a trial.